is Charlie William Hancock and Margarette Lewis Hancock on March 12, 1989 for the 50th anniversary of the EMC. Granddaddy and Grandma, I wanted to ask you about the lights coming to Harkers Island. Can you tell me something about when the electricity first came?
You want to do it? Well, I don't remember the day it was turned on, but we were using lamps. Had to pump outdoors, you know, you had to pump water to bring it in the house. And after the lights come on, we got a water pump, had a water pump, you know, that would pump water. And we didn't have any television, any radio, or any appliances whatsoever. All we had was a light overhead, and I believe there was 2 outlets in a room. And I know we were kind of particular. Afraid we'd go over our bill. It was load 15 watts for $1.50, wasn't it? So I don't believe we ever did go over it. But it made a lot of difference with the children about studying their lesson. Before the lights, we used to have to use a lamp like that. And later, when we was first married, later we got a mantle lamp. We got that same lamp in the sitting room in yonder.
A lamp?
Yeah, it's something like a gas light, you know. But it's made a lot of improvements for the homes and what have you. It was a long time before we ever got electric stove, wasn't it? Yeah. We did first along our radios. We had batteries in the radio to operate a radio. Or directly when you got these lights, we could get a radio that would plug in. And eventually, then directly, I don't remember just. I mean, it was when Ralph was working down here over Rue Lane. He says the Glen Adar's going to Norfolk, says they got television. And he says, that's where I made a mistake. He says, everybody in this county will have a television. He says, now if you mortgage your house and help me start up a store and we'll get us some television, we'll make some money. But I was scared. I thought if you mortgage your house, you lost it. But it wasn't long for television coming in, and everybody got used television, and eventually you could use on. I know when Margaret and I was first married, the kind of overalls that you people wear now, that's the kind we wore every day because of it. And they'd get kind of dirty, and I'd help her. We used Ashoken soap and had a washboard. And many times I've been out trying to help her wash this dirt, like the dirt out of them. But finally, I think the first washing machine we ever had is after we got lights. The one your mother gave us. It had 4 prongs on the ledge. You put down the clothes. I remember taking some broom handles and cutting them off and making the sticks in there to get in the clothes. It had a thing on it like this.
You can march by it.
That's the first washing machine we ever had.
The wringer was on top, you know. You take your clothes out and put your
hand out. If you catch your hand in, that'd pull you in out.
2 times, he has got the hands.
I don't know what else to tell you, but I think is, you know, improved and progress all through the years. Like the CB and everything else, them days you couldn't use anything. I remember in that 33 hurricane, there wasn't many people had a radio. I don't believe we had one. But a man lived down here, Adrian Willis had one. He had a Delco, which would pump electricity, you know, for lights. And this wind everything looked threatening, so I went down there, I don't know, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening. We were blowing a gale northeast. That was 1933. and he got the weather report from Jacksonville, Florida, WJX, Jacksonville, Florida. And he said, the North Carolina coast is in for a hurricane. Well, we didn't know what a hurricane was. We never heard of a hurricane. We knew what a storm, wind blowing. But let me tell you, that night about 2 o'clock, we found out what it was. But we didn't have the lights there. I remember we went over, we left here about, about 9 o'clock. This room wasn't on here. I had to go over there. And I remember Marguerite put a lamp like that, right here to this window. That was a window. So we could look out and see, so we could tell if the house blew. We went over there to Cliffs. Now what else you want to know, Ann?
But when the lights first came, we just had 4 rooms to this house. We moved in the house with just 4 rooms. 2 bedrooms and a living room and a kitchen. So, but after the lights came, we got getting different rooms, fixing upstairs and fixing this little den back here for the sitting house, the back porch.
I remember before we had lights, we had a pump. Our doors used to have doors with a pump. Like Uncle Mike's got on his porch, you seen that hand pump?
Mm-hmm.
Well, directly we was getting a little high up, so we piped the pump in the house. It had a
Our
sink.
kitchen was here.
So you could pump the water in the house. We thought we had, it was way up there. My Lord, Joella, honey.
But when the kids would go to school, they had to study by a little lamp like that,
Yeah.
kerosene lamp, and it's real hard on your eyes until when there wasn't much going on, they could study downstairs, especially June and sister. Those most interested in study, and they could study by the Aladdin lamp, and that was a good light. That would light the whole room there. But every once in a while, one of them studies would get broke from one of the others, they knock it off, or the man will get broke.
I remember when the man come here, Papa come out here one day, one morning, says there's a man down there wants you to take him. I had a boat, take him up there to, we're talking about getting lights on the island then, Earl Davis and Hunter. H.B. Hunter, which was the first president of the REA. But I took the man and carried him to Harkers Point, and then over to Lennoxville for him to sight over to see. And he come here and stayed, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. He stayed out, ate out of Hunter's. He stayed down there at Papa's. Then he left and went back about a week later. He come with brought another man with him, and I carried him up there again, and they surveyed, or sighted for how much cable it would take my day. Now I don't remember the exact day the lights come on. Do you, man?
Yeah.
I know we were all pride and tickled to death. It was a big thing for us to have lights.
What did you cook on?
We had a kerosene stove, 3-burner kerosene stove.
Car gas.
She was named, yeah, it was a little car gas. In the oven, you could take off or put on.
Yeah, you like that thing. You could set it on the stove and take it off.
But she cooked the best anything I ever cooked. And my me had a baby every 2 years. After Ralph started working real late, we got our gas cooking stuff. And we used gas then.
Yeah, that's the first. I don't remember just what year that was.
And it wasn't long before I got my new washing machine. And we used to have the iron with flat irons, But after the lights came, they had electric iron. nickel iron.
Them flat irons, Joella, was iron that was hollow inside, and you'd take wood and burn it, see, like you're roasting oysters or something. When it got cold, like you'd put it in that iron and shut her up, and that's what you iron the clothes with.
But the flat irons, we set it on the stove.
Yeah, that was later when they got them. One thing in stoves we used to get that had a place on the whole iron. It was laundry heater.
Laundry heater.
Yeah.
And it had a little cutaway place you could stick the flat iron and put it on the stove.
What did the children do at night for entertainment?
Well, I'll tell you, most of the time, after we got the radio, Dad would be listening to news, and the kids had to be real quiet, except for he would pour with them. So while he was listening to the radio, the kids would be playing under the table and in the other room, and they didn't stay up very late nights.
They played them shooting marbles. I used to make them little slingshots and crossguns,
They had
boats and what have you.
funny books that they would read. There's something going on because there's nothing out, you know what it is to have a high school.
See, the boys played out along the shore a lot of times because we was raised right there in the water.
But they played out. They played all day in the daytime, but that's what they do nights.
Did I ever tell you about the time that, that was before we got lights or after, that LED, that's many times. She was going to school and I left and go to Cape. I was fishing. And there was something she couldn't remember. What was it?
Darn it, I don't think they need to tell me that. Well, she had a problem with arithmetic. I was in first grade. And I think it was 2 and 1. And she didn't know what that was.
She was really little.
And Charlie had told her, I'm going fishing today. When I come home tonight, you better know what that is. And I don't think it was for Dad to come in, but she knew what it was by the time he got back. But I don't think I really like for you to tell that.
Maybe she saw me coming back, she got crying.
Do you remember what your first bill was?
Oh, we were allowed 15-watt kilowatts for $1.50 a month. And we hardly ever used $1.50 at that time.
Seemed like to me it was 15 kilowatts, but anyway, $1.50 is what it cost you in a month. They watered the house, and we paid for that on time. It took me 15, 20 years to pay for it. I forget now what it cost. You pay $25 now, 10, anything you could to the REA till you got it paid.
So it's a nice to go in a room and turn on lights so you could see, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Used to, you had a lamp. Of course, we had 3 or 4 kerosene lamps.
But they watered the house and they furnished a pump to hook on your well, you know, to pump water. Owen Fulford hooked out, he worked with it, he hooked our pump out. I mean, we had that corner of the house over there. Oh me, seems like a different world, honey.
Before you had the hot water heater, did you have to heat the water with stove?
Yeah, we heat the water on the oil stove. And I had a big galvanized tub that we'd bring in and warm water, put that in there to give the kids a bath. But they only got a bath like that about twice a week. But I would wash them, you know, wash pans every night for the kids. But they only got a good bath about twice a week.
I thought about it, them days, there was no bathrooms on there, nothing. You had to go to the toilet, if a woman washed, you wash in a pan. But I thought they smelled good to me, just, it may have been
But
Something to put on them.
but it wasn't only our family was fired like
Everybody,
that.
yeah.
Everybody was like that.
We,
Nobody had electric lights.
we was up in J's, and a lot of them.
Well, before I was married, our family had lights running from Adelco. The batteries would be charged from Adelco, you know, and lights in the house. So,
Her father, they had a Delco. Adrian Willis had one down there, and Earl Davis, and I think Cleveland Davis had one. That's all there was on island. It had lights, and while they had to run the engine while it had lights. You know.
Did you have the bridge when the electricity first came?
no, we didn't have we had a bridge. We didn't have that a long time after we got lights.
They run a ferry across, when you go down that ferry road, we call it down there where they build boats out of the bay. They run a ferry from there over there to the straits.
Yeah.
And that's the way you go to, if you had a car, there wasn't many cars on here. Now the way we did, every Friday or Saturday, I'd take my boat, go to Beaufort. If Marguerite didn't go, she'd make out a bill. We'd go there to get some groceries. We'd stop on the way, get a sack of coal out to the mill. That was right on the cut, on the water. They had a sawmill there, and they sold coal well as lumber. Get a sack of coal and bring home. The youngers would meet me down there and tote up the groceries. And it had a little cart, I believe, in it.
Yeah. Ralph had a cart, you know, the red carts. And a lot of groceries like that.
That's the way. If you had need a doctor, you take your boat and went to Beaufort's. And most time you go there to the factory. They had telephone, and you call to Beaufort, and if you get a doctor, he'd come on down there, and you take him in there and make it quicker, you know, and come on home there in the boat.
Then you had to take him back. God remember.
I don't remember just when the bridge come here. Let's see, the First World War started, Second World War is 41, at Pearl Harbor, ended 45. Well, I think we'd had lights about 2 years, 39, 40, 41. But anyway, we had to keep the shades down nights to cover everything up so you couldn't, the light would shine out the house.
That's
Of course,
been
we
the
had
war.
electric lights, a lamp, you wouldn't have much trouble, but you know, that would give a little light.
You remember where the first REA office was?
Yeah.
Yeah, right down there where Captain
down there
Choice
where
is.
Captain Choice is now. It was a little building about 16 by 20, 24, something like that. Henry Davis had a store, and directly when he left it, they rented it for the REA office. Hunter was first, what do you call it, charge of it. They got Maxwell Willis to tend to it, you know, do the paperwork. When you go pay your light bill, you pay to him.
Do you remember how long it was before the school got lights?
Well, I read the school got lights as early as most families did.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that after they got elected,
It
of
was
course
long.
that was up to the education board of the county. But I have an idea that they furnished lights for the school then. I don't know how they did before then. I know I used to go to school. I don't remember having no lamps in there. Do you?
No.
If it was dark so you couldn't see, well, I guess it made no difference.
Well, at school was in no time, you
I
know.
don't remember having no lamps in there.
But I remember they would have little shows would come over here, and we go. I think school was soon, and they had lights. I don't know what kind of
Well,
lights. It might be
they
lanterns.
brought their electric engines with them for shows came.
Where'd you get your light bulbs and stuff?
Do what now?
Where did we get our light bulb? It would use.
Everything you got, you had to go get it in Beaufort. You couldn't get nothing here. Cleveland Davis and Charlotte Davis, and my daddy ran a store here, but it was just small merchandise like Cecil's got up yonder or something. There wasn't no such thing like Billy Bess's or Tab's or something like that. You couldn't buy everything. It was just groceries. Coca-Cola.
But Daddy would get them.
we'd go to town every week and get groceries. And I've left be fishing Oako and come home and take Ralph and Margarette and maybe Tommy, the oldest ones, and we go here, what they call Brown Swamp, all that about where Lester Hamilton lives, and all in that area there used to be a lot of dead trees. Go along and get wood to burn. Cut wood like that and tie it up in bundles. The youngers would take a bundle, Margarette would take a bundle. He always had it like this.
Do you remember what the first major appliance was? Like a stove or a refrigerator?
Well, I got an icebox before I got a stove because I had a gas stove. So I got an icebox at first. First of all, I think we got, no, it wasn't a first of all, but just as soon as it was working, Ralph was working with real lane, and we got a television.
Magnavox.
Magnavox. And of course, we all enjoyed that, and Saturday evenings, I had to hurry and get the kids their bath and everything, because so many people came to look at television. It was just like it was going to show. And of course we could only get Norfolk. That would sometimes be good, and then again it wouldn't be good if they had
Let me tell you, this same hunter that was president of the REA, he used to sell used furniture. In other words, cheap. Some people had discarded it, in other words, and he'd buy it, sell it. But we had an ice box, weighed about that high. And then top of it had a place hold about 25 pounds of ice. Well, it was, the bridge was here then, and people come over here selling ice. I think Joe Whitley used to sell ice then.
They did.
You could buy you a piece that long and that white beef car for 25 cents. So we'd put it in the top of that ice box, and you'd keep your milk or butter or if you had any meat or anything in that until we got a. Victor, we got after the lecture and everything, well, we got a
But Joella,
refrigerator.
the kids, the cereal that we had then would be cornflakes, and we used canned milk, and the kids, well, that you would dilute it, about half and half, put sugar on it, and everybody loved it just as good as you do now, with cow's milk.
Yeah.
But for getting ready for Sunday, if you had beef, you would go ahead and cook it some that evening and cook it overnight in a cool place and have it for dinner next day. And most of the time, old Pa had some chickens. You would a lot of people would kill their chicken on Saturday and pick the chicken and skull and pick and clean it, hang that in your back porch until next day. And now I would die if I had big chicken.
A lot of people wait till Sunday to kill them.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much it cost to wire the house before the electricity?
Joella, to tell you the truth, I don't remember.
I think about $60.
I don't it wasn't too much. You see, the REA, the money they borrowed for this co-op, they call it, they paid for everything. Of course, we weren't interested in what it cost us. What we wanted was to get it. and we had lifetime to pay for it. In other words, it's supposed to belong to the people it serves, which it still is. But anybody that then
Let you pay what you could.
you paid your light bill and you paid $10 on
The wiring bill.
the wiring bill or what have you, or whatever you could, you know, into the month. I think there's some of them still didn't pay you.
Is that about all?
Thank you for your time.
Well, Joella, we have really enjoyed talking to you. Clara, I didn't know that you had talked to us as well as you did.
Ready?
Yeah.
I was sitting by my window yesterday morning without a thought of worry or care when I saw the postman coming up the pathway with such a happy look and jolly air. He rang the bell and whistled as he waited, and then he said good morning to me, Jack. But he little knew the sorrow that he brought me when he handed me a letter edged in black. I can't sing. With trembling hands I took this letter from him. I broke the seal, and this is what it said. Come home, my boy, your dear old father wants you. Come home, my boy, your dear old mother's dead. The last words your mother ever spoken was, tell my boy I want him to come back. My heart is gray, my poor heart is broken. That's why I'm sending you this letter, edged in black. You know, that's a tune to that.